Hello, everybody, and welcome to Luke's Family Test Kitchen. I'm Luke, former chef, cooking at home now instead of the restaurant. Today, we're going to make a roast crispy pork, Chinese style. We're going to serve it with sticky rice and shio cabbage. Now, my family and I, we traveled in Southeast Asia last year, and we definitely ate some delicious crispy pork. So I'm going to show you some of the tricks here to how to make your crispiest pork you can. So I got a nice little pork roast here. Not too much fat on this one. It's not pork belly. It's a bit of the pork shoulder. And here I am poking a bunch of holes in the skin. So before I did this, I had the pork in the fridge overnight on a cooling rack to get that skin as dry as possible. The trick to crispy pork skin is dry skin. So I've got the cool little tool here that I found at Valley Village, funny enough. And it pokes a whole bunch of tiny holes in the skin. And what that does is that helps render out the fat while cooking, and now what I'm going to do is I'm scoring the meat and seasoning it with salt and Chinese 5-spice. The reason why I score the meat is so the seasoning and the 5-spice gets all through the meat. Here I am. I like to wrap it up now before I roast it. I cover the skin in coarse salt while roasting. This helps to keep the skin super dry while roasting. And then the tin foil keeps all those wonderful juices inside while it roasts. So at the start, I roast the pork at 325 for about an hour until the pork is pretty much cooked. And then I'll remove the pork, let it rest, and scrape off that excess salt. And then I jack up the oven temperature to about 475, 500, and port the pork back in again. And that's when the skin goes all wonderful, crisply, crackly, poppity. And then I let the pork rest for at least 10, 15, 20 minutes before slicing. Another trick you can do is if you take the juice that's trapped inside that tin foil, put it in a pot with a little bit of soy sauce, rice vinegar, mirin, and let it boil for a couple of minutes. You get this really delicious sauce that you can serve with the pork. Here we have the sticky rice. I love sticky rice. So how I make it is I soak the rice overnight after washing it several times. I soak it overnight in some fresh, clean water. I drain off all that water the next day, and then I cook it in a bamboo steamer with cheesecloth, or I've got a cotton cloth here. And then I steam it on high heat on a steamer on top of a pot for about 30-40 minutes until it's really nice and sticky. Immediately when it's done cooking, I pack it into a bowl with the cloth on top to keep all that moisture in so that rice is super sticky. The other thing I want to serve with this is some shio cabbage, because that really helps cut through that rich, fatty pork in a wonderful way. You'll see me cutting up the cabbage in a couple seconds here. This steamer I have here is actually a dumpling steamer. It is on my list to buy a proper rice steamer, hopefully in the future. So for the shio cabbage serving with the pork, you're gonna see me cut up the cabbage here. It's really delicious, super simple. I can't stop eating it when it's on the table. I just rough chop the cabbage, put in garlic, salt, sesame oil, and the secret here is a little bit of chicken bouillon powder. It certainly adds some wonderful umami to it. You can add grated ginger if you want. You can add soy sauce if you like, but my family likes to keep it super simple with just these items here. Now, while that pork is resting, if you pull the pork out and cut it too soon, you always want meat to rest. But what will happen is all the juices will run out of the pork, and then the pork won't be juicy anymore. The other thing, too, is if you cut it too soon, the skin won't have time to set that last bit of crispiness, which is what everybody wants. When we were traveling in Southeast Asia, we were in Bangkok for a good stretch, and there's some really, really fantastic Chinese-style crispy pork in Bangkok. Now, when it comes to this meal, my daughter loves the crispy pork, and my son loves the sticky rice, especially me. I love the sticky rice too. What's so fun about sticky rice is you can eat it with your hands. You can squeeze it and make a spoon out of it and use it like a piece of cutlery. My family, we always eat family style. We love using chopsticks, and this is a great meal where you put everything out on the table. The crispy pork, the shio cabbage, the sticky rice, and that sauce we made from the pork juices. If you want to see more, if you want to see how a pro chef runs a family kitchen without the stress, hit subscribe. Thank you all for stopping by Luke's Family Test Kitchen. I will see you next meal.
Do you want your rice in your bowl?